Hello guys, how are you? Yeah, third video of the night here. First one, thoughts of the day, just me rambling. What was my thoughts during the day? What have we seen? Have we put in a high in gold? I do believe we have. Again, calling tops in a melt up is a losing game, but we could be at that point where that makes sense. So let's see, next few days, if we get some volume coming in and you get some big red days, yeah, then that definitely confirms it more. By the way, I'm not saying gold is going to go to 1K. I still believe 2 years out, 3 years out, we are going to be at 8K. Still my view. But nothing goes in a straight line. We could have a pause here for like 3 months or so. Again, length is difficult, but that is what we could have here. Good. Soft, you know, wheat, corn, all that good stuff. We will have a quick look-see at it here. There is some stuff, still coffee. I am very, very bullish on coffee. It's not even funny. Well, it is, but yeah. So let's dive into the business here and see what's happened. Again, cocoa, just a glimpse of one of my best entries ever and one of my worst, not worst, I messed it up big time. Again, early days of my, but anyways, this was the massive break there. Once we started to trade north of like $3, maybe a little bit lower, cocoa, boom, slingshot. I did post on X that when we break this one here, we are gonna be at like I think 8K within like 3-5 years. We did it in basically no time. We did it in boom boom in 1 year. This is weekly, so 1 year we did it. We went from 2.5 roughly to 12,000, so 500% roughly on that one. Crazy, crazy stuff. Anyways, why did I mess it up there? Well, anyway, it's too, I don't want to talk about it. I did it a little bit, but I left the most of it on the table. So it is what it is. Good guys. Coco here. Yes. I mean, still a massive. This is short squeeze, by the way. Boom, 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 boom. That is a short squeeze. And we have a little flag here, right? A little bit of a pennant breaking out, taking out the triangle high. Again, you can see that the triangle high often is a good place to sell. At least part, like 50% of that one. You can do that. And since then, we had where are you? We had the peak there, bearish, bearish, rounding now. Are we totally out of the woods here? And are we going higher uh, in in cocoa? Again, mixed feelings. Usually after such a big move, I don't really participate in those kind of things. But again, depending on how we make this, this is actually quite a neat little flag setup here, trying to break out of that. So yeah, cocoa does look good, especially if we can take out like 9,000, let's call it 400. Then again, I do believe we're gonna see a marginal higher high here somewhere for cocoa, good old cocoa. And by the way, all the blame, that, bad harvest, crops, infection, all that good stuff was to blame for the move here. But no, guys, it is roughly 40 years of, compression, or what's it called, holding down the price through futures. That is why it is designed. But once, they let go and can't control it anymore, all that suspension, all that, the water balloon has been held so far underwater for such a long time, boom. And we will get that in silver as well. Probably one of the last ones to maybe do that whole hockey stick move, but we will get that in silver. We will get that in a lot of commodities. We have seen a part of that in gold now. You will get it in platinum. You will get it in everything. So yeah, cocoa, that's cocoa. That is a long time for one commodity. Anywho, coffee. I love coffee. I think I'm a little bit too, what's it called? I need it a little bit too much, right? Addictive to that whole thing. I don't get much sleep these days. It is what it is. But coffee here breaking out. Boom, above 300. We turned insanely long-term bullish. And we can zoom in here. We can zoom in. Let's remove that. Go away. So could we see a backtest here? Sure. If we get a backtest to 300, you can buy big time coffee. Stop below and all that good stuff, of course. But overall, this to me is a bull flag. That is continuation. We should be going higher. The trend is set for coffee to do truly outstanding gains in my view. And my max, the greedy target that I have, the greedy one is the channel, basically the range of the channel. You add it on top. There it is. Boom, 2,200. Will we see that? Absolutely. I'm very confident in that. Um, Again, timing-wise, difficult. It could happen as quickly as cocoa did if we get the right conditions. You can see momentum, everything is blasting higher. And could it take 2 or 3 years? Yeah, sure. But it doesn't change my view on coffee. Long term, really, really bullish long term on this beautiful, lovely drink. Sugar, sugar. Again, long term, this is one of the best looking patterns that there is. This is bread and butter kind of stuff. Again, if you see this one in a stock, in an ETF, in commodities, in an index, whatever, you would want to play this one big time. You want to, once you break the wedge pattern to the upside here, you want to load up as much as you can, in my opinion. Again, that's my view on these type of patterns where you have this. In this case, it's 50 years, 50 long years worth of compression. You have a flag here now. Do we want to hold for the short term, roughly 18? Yeah, we do. But again, when I think it's a big when we break that, roughly 28, yeah, 28 on sugar, we are going to go boom like that together with silver, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, don't be long here. We have an internal flag here that can take you in before you get the big breakout. So let's say we start to rally here. You get north of like 20 to 21 maybe. You take that position, stop loss below if you want to play the stop, and you expect that one to actually break out and do that. So yeah, long term sugar looks immensely good. It really, really does. Let's look at soybeans here. Again, so not too many people look at it, but again, this is inflation, this is commodities. And yeah, gold has led the way. And now gold potentially, again, I'm not going to firmly stamp it that it has been peaking here, but given the volume on gold, yeah, we talked about it, could be the peaking here. For this cycle high, it will be way higher, lower down the road. But to me here, this is a really good setup on soybeans. Lower trend line here, support. Very clean trend line here. So what do we want to see here for soybeans to break higher? Clearly, we want to hold here, the lower ones. And when we break the blue, you can go long. In this case, roughly 1,100. Stop loss below. Target the all-time highs. What will happen there? Often, let's say we're going to grind it out. Boom. Break on the fourth, right? You tag it here for the third time. You break on the fourth. That's my expectations. When and if that happens, what is the target? It is insanely high. Boom, it is all the way up here at 4,000. Soybeans, again, long-term wise, looks good. It's very cyclical, but we are very close to a bigger break that can take you in, and soybean could see a big move. Yeah, and the same thing here again compared to the other, we have basically been stuck. Again, price has been controlled for the better part of 60 years. And in my view, if we get the break on the blue, that could be the precursor of a move that could look like that. Maybe not that high, but you get the deal. We break on the fourth on that one. So soybeans, yeah. Corn, yeah, corn. Same thing here. All-time highs here. Support, just like on soybeans, very, very similar, by the way. Very, very. I think if we overlay these two charts, they are dead on. Take a snapshot. It's the same. So here we have actually corn trying to break out. Do I believe in most cases that it will do that after that little, third, fourth? Yeah, I do. We could see corn breaking out, and target will be the all-time high at roughly 800 on corn. And I expect the same again until disproven, something like that for corn. 1, 2, 3, boom, off we go. Measured moves. And by the way, this is not good for the groceries. This is not good for groceries. If you think that they are expensive now, just wait like 5 years, 2 years, just 3 years, 4 years. Again, timing-wise difficult, but the price, the measured moves ensures that your bread will easily double over the next 3 years, easily. So yeah, bit of a doom and gloom there, but wheat very similar as well compared to the previous two. We have the uptrend, that's good. We have the ceiling, that's good. Different, a little bit more weak setup. But again, I do believe that that is also the case, and then you're game on. Once you break that trend line, you are basically game on again. And yeah, same thing. Now we will look at cotton. Cotton, again, it's not, food or anything, but yeah, clothes and all that good jazz. So again, very, very, very clear wedge going on. Do I prefer attack here? Actually, no. I would like to see the bull step in before that, so we don't get the extreme downside. But again, it's still fine. I want to see this wedge pattern break here, and then we can actually go to the big horizontal at roughly 1, and then that could be the way. So your main focus for cotton is that little wedge pattern there. When that breaks, if you know companies that are doing business within cotton, they should perform really, really well. Again, you can see here, this is only 15 years, but again, beautiful wedge. And once we break that, we're going to go way higher. Yes, we do. Here we have iron in China. And I do think here we're looking at a 4-year setup here. And we need to break, in my view here, I want to do a little bit higher just to be sure here. I want to move it up to like 112 for iron, the TIO1 exclamation mark. And iron is gonna join the party, I think, going back to triangle highs and all that good stuff there. And on the other hand, of course, is the downside break here. Again, very, very binary setup here. You either get a huge bump or you get a huge that. It's not in between because you have been compressing for 4 years. So it's very binary. You know exactly when you're right, and you also know when you're wrong. So iron, what is the most likely out? It is, I will say, actually mostly down. We have momentum down. We have been making no higher highs. So I would give it like 60-40 for like a downward move here, which will be severe. We could see iron go from 100 here down to at least 80, at least. That is actually very, very, very big support at 80. So I will give my target from 100 to 80. That's 20%. And if things gets really, really nasty, triangle low there, or the trend line low here at roughly 50. So big moves, big, big, big moves coming up here for iron any day of the week, really. XRO0, that is a rhodium. Teeny weeny market, but still very nice break there. Wedging pattern here on the lower time frame. We have broken out. Very thinly traded. So again, you can easily be up and down 10% within like one trade. I mean, one, transaction. Once we get to 700, when that breaks, I'm very confident that that is the low, the stage one, lowing process, and we're gonna go higher. This is stage four. Once we break, 700, we are in stage two. That is the uptrend for XRH0. Will we look at lithium? Yeah, we will. I don't have much here. Again, we have 3 years of purely, basically just puking, right? Nothing more. Trying to bottom here. Trying to big time. Let's see. Again, we don't have much to go by, even on a log scale. This has completely melted down. 90%. Woo, 90. We will look at cattle here. My steaks, the beef. Again, showing you that wedge pattern there, breaking out a few back tests, going higher. Beef and cows are going to be very, very, very expensive. And in Denmark, it is very expensive now already. So I could easily see this if things get really mad, that this will be, again, we'll break the upper, I guess, and we could see 300 within 2 years. So that's 50% on top already. So yeah, cattle. Good. I want to show you the JVA, that is the coffee holding here. And again, this is one of the trades that I learned a lot from. And that is, again, the entry here, beautiful, the downtrend and all that. But then we hit the hidden, I think it's a hidden triangle high here, right? That expanding stuff right there. And that, again, should have been called when we went long, that, hey, you will most likely want to take a lot of profit here. We have come so far already, up 1,000%. Triangle high is often a good place to take profits. It really is. At least take 50% off if you don't want to have take the entire thing off. But what is important now is, again, there is an opportunity coming in, because we're basically backtesting the entire breakout here all the way down. And what do we need? We need that little beauty of a bottom pattern breaking. This one here, you are getting taking in. Listen, you will be taking in at roughly 360, right? And your stop has to be a little bit wide in this case, but I think you'll have to place it there. You might go a little higher, but again, it is so you have a wide stop percentage-wise, but I think you can also see, again, if we play this thing here, right? Again, it could go bananas. Again, we are very bullish on coffee. So yeah, one to watch. We will definitely put on a beautiful alert. Boop. There it is. Good. That is soft. I don't have much more. If these things break out, again, inflation, you can't avoid it. It will come. If you see these go up like 50% over the next year, if we get the breakouts, again, your coffee, your wheat, your beef, your steak, your cattle, and all the other stuff that we haven't looked at will go higher. Cool. That is all. Have an amazing day. I'll go to bed. Did we just puke here? Or is that not updating or what? Yeah, we did. Oh, yes. Oh, you can see it here. Yep. I think the top is in. That is very likely the top in gold. Hopefully silver holds. That is. If we start to lose 32 here for silver, it opens up a big can of worms. Anyways, guys, have a great day. Bye.